Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and as you can guess by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Shane McMahon possibly going to All Elite Wrestling. I want to give a shout out to Wrestle Talk, who are the ones that leaked this photo that clearly shows Shane McMahon and Tony Khan having a meeting here. Wrestle Talk is an awesome YouTube channel. I definitely recommend you checking them out. They do great work over there. I love the guys over there, Ollie Davis, Luke Owen, Tempest, and everybody else that I'm forgetting the name of over there. But shout out to you guys for leaking this. Supposedly, Fightful is also going to have a bigger story. Fightful was also involved in the leak, which Sean Rossap does excellent work over there. He gets more stories right than he gets wrong and is very fair with what he puts out there. He doesn't put anything out there that's mostly speculation. So shout out to Fightful as well. With that being said, let's get into what we're going to talk about. And that is, like you can see in the picture, it is obvious at this point that Shane McMahon and Tony Khan have had a meeting with each other. Now, based on the looks of this picture, it doesn't look like this was a surprise taken of two guys sitting at a table at an airport or just two guys randomly meeting each other somewhere. This definitely looks like a purposeful leak, something that's made to have us talking, probably to get people to tune into Dynamite, which at the time I'm recording this is still a few hours away, and this video may be irrelevant by the time you watch it, depending on what happens on Dynamite. But I gotta believe that that's on purpose. Whether it's just to shock the internet, I don't think that Tony Khan, as much flack as people give him, I don't think that he would make this big of a mistake and this just be nothing. I think there's gotta be smoke to this fire. So with that being said, I am extremely excited because this is huge. I mean, this is a McMahon that's not working for the WWE. And for the last 60 plus years, 70 years, whatever it may be, in pro wrestling, the name McMahon is synonymous with WWE. So let's get into why this is exciting. Now, I don't want to see Shane wrestle again. The last time we seen him wrestle was WrestleMania, where he blew his quad out doing a leapfrog. I think he's too old to do that. And I'm not against him getting physical in matches, maybe as part of an angle, but I don't want to see him potentially hurt himself, because I don't want to see anybody potentially hurt themselves. Where I think this could be awesome, and I think it could play into the storylines that are already happening in AEW, and that's the whole struggle for power between the elite and the people that are against the elite. Now, we've seen that Christopher Daniels has been somewhat of a surrogate for Tony Khan and what he stands for, anti-elite, but who could be better to bring in as an authority figure than Shane McMahon? And I'm talking about available. I mean, obviously, others could be doing this, but you could have him come in, start off as the babyface authority figure, the guy that's going to right the company, help Tony Khan make it a big company because he helped his father build the WWE, and then 6 months down the road, a year down the road, he could turn evil and be the evil McMahon that's amassed power behind the scenes and is now taking the company from Tony Khan. And now the script is flipped and you have to find somebody to fight for your company. In that case, maybe the elite have turned face, maybe Kenny Omega's back. He could be that guy, or Will Ospreay, who seems to be the rah-rah pro AEW guy right now. You could have Jon Moxley, who I think has been the face of the company since the beginning. I mean, he's the guy that's had the most world championships. He's the guy that they turn to whenever they're an issue and they need an instant fix to it. So he could be the guy, much like Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon. And I know there's going to be a section of you that hate the fact that I just compared Jon Moxley to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I get that. But in the context of AEW, he is their big baby face, or the face of the company. There's no way around that. So storyline-wise, he makes a lot of sense. They could do a whole invasion angle with all the ex-WWE guys that are there, whether that be Jericho, FTR, Moxley, Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli, all these guys that he could say were his guys in WWE and never got that push. He's come over here to AEW to make right and have a quote-unquote hostile takeover invasion angle, which I know it's been done to death, but it's almost inevitable if he comes there that there'll be some kind of hostile takeover angle. Again, I kind of just wanted to get on here and talk about the excitement of this and how this feels again like a boom period for pro wrestling. A lot of people talk about the Attitude Era as a high watermark for wrestling, the Monday Night Wars, and it's for reasons like this. It's because you could see guys like Diesel and Razor Ramon show up on WCW as Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and start the NWO. It's because Chris Jericho could join WWE after being a big star and, well, a star in WCW, not ever let to be to his full potential there. Like the Radicals jumping. This could be that type of thing. I mean, this is how this happened, and it doesn't really happen because the way contracts are written nowadays, there's not that many surprises between that and the fact that even though there was the internet back in the late 90s, it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. Nobody had a cell phone in their pocket that could give them information in 10 seconds. Twitter wasn't a thing. Facebook wasn't a thing. TikTok wasn't a thing. YouTube wasn't a thing. You may have some message boards and some wrestling sites like famously WrestleZone or Figure 4 Wrestling or Lord's Opinion, I believe, was one of the old ones back in the day. And those were kind of the dirt sheet sites, for a lack of a better word, or the sites that would be much like this video is. People talking about pro wrestling. But that was even a fraction of a fraction. So of the people that watched pro wrestling, 10% of them might be going to those websites that might know that, hey, Raven has walked out of WCW and he's probably going to show back up in ECW. Nowadays, it's going to be all over the place. As you can see, this is all over Twitter. It's one of the trending topics right now at the time I'm recording this. So yeah, I'm just wanting to talk about the excitement of this, how excited I am as a fan, and I think this is a great thing for both AEW and pro wrestling in general. I think Shane McMahon is a huge get for them, especially as an authority figure, not so much as a wrestler. Again, I don't want to see Shane get injured, so I don't want to see that. But if he can do it safely, hell, go for it, man. But anyway, let me know what you think down here in the comments. Are you excited to see Shane McMahon in AEW? Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think this is just all smoke and mirrors just to mess with the internet? Let me know down here. Let me know what role you think he might play. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and I appreciate you watching Heel Heat.